Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1, or should I say Stop and Go F1 Academy, because for the first time in 2025 it's time to talk about F1 Academy. Before we do though, remember to like and subscribe, and a huge shout out to the members: Dakota, The Joyous Jane, Brian Myers, Cinnamon Strudel, Michael Johnson and F. All those members on YouTube and Patreon. If you want to join them, click the link in the description down below. It's time to talk about F1 Academy, and I'm going to start talking about F1 Academy by talking about a man which probably is frowned upon, but Ben Edwards was doing the commentary for the races this weekend. He is one of my favourite commentators of all time. Great to hear from him. There you go. So, F1 Academy, the big news going into this weekend was the change up of the format. So they now have reversed grids in the first race, reversing the top 8. Race 2 will just be your traditional race, which I was begging for all of last year, and instantly has made a massive improvement to the quality of racing we are seeing across the weekend, because race 1 was a lot of fun. Nina Gaidman was on pole. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of Nina Gaidman, she was the wildcard driver for the Dutch Grand Prix last year. I believe, out of all the wildcard drivers, she scored the most points. She was absolutely fantastic and continued to be fantastic this weekend, really showing her talent. Then alongside was a new driver to F1 Academy, whose surname I have written down in a way that I thought, I know, I'll write it this way so you know how to pronounce it later. And now I'm looking at it and I'm going, I'm not too sure about that. I've written Felbermeyer. That sounds about right. She was alongside there. Ella Lloyd had a difficult qualifying. She had a spin on her fast lap towards the end, so she was, I think, in 11th. But either way, she would start from the pit lane due to tyre pressures not being correct, which is a bit of a shame for her, although she would make a good comeback as we go through. At the start of the race, Nina Gaidman gets away well. It is Palmansky coming across Felbermeyer side by side, basically from turn 1 to turn 4 for second place. Palmansky gets ahead and keeps P2, but Chloe Chambers is putting pressure now on Felbermeyer for P3. Chloe Chambers, one of my favourites from last year, continuing to be fantastic into 2025. Maya Vug, who of course with this reverse format is starting in P8, she's up to P5 now, but Shi Wei, who is the wildcard driver for the Chinese Grand Prix, has a spin. She is out, brings out the safety car for the first time in this race, the first time of many. Safety car lasts until lap 5, and on the restart, Chloe Chambers goes for it immediately, squeezed quite heavily by who is it? Felbermeyer. There you go, Felbermeyer. Oh my god, I'm sorry about these names. When there's people I don't know, it takes me a while to say their name correctly. By the end of the season, I'll have it on pat. Don't you worry. Yeah, Chambers though squeezed very much, legally. There was no questions around it, but a great defence, gotta be fair. But Chloe Chambers does get through on lap 5. Felbermeyer now, though, who did a great job of defending, but was passed by Chambers, then was passed by both Maya Vug and Dorian Pan. You see, very good defensive driving, and I think she had a very good debut. But overall, those with more experience than her, that experience did shine through. But, I think she's got a good ceiling there, and she will come through and do well eventually. Noble spins, though, block hit her and broke her rear suspension, brings out the safety car again. That safety car lasts until lap 8. Nina Gaidman, who is still leading this race, weaving all over the place on the restart, didn't get pulled for it at all, which I was quite surprised by, because it reminded me of, if you watch the Indy 500 a couple years ago, when they had a thing, they called it the Dragon. It was Marcus Ericsson who did it, where he just weaved and weaved and weaved, and everyone's basically following him because they don't want to break that toe. So it's like a dragon going up and down the straight. Gaidman basically doing the exact same thing. They banned it in the Indy 500. Wasn't even mentioned here at the F1 Academy Chinese Grand Prix. Havada, who is also a rookie driver, she's off. She was hit by Chong, another rookie driver. Did not have a good weekend at all. Brings out the safety car again. Bert Mylander is earning his paycheck today with F1 Academy. Safety car goes until lap 10. There is a 10-second penalty for Chong, the first of her penalties this weekend. Ella Lloyd, worth mentioning again. Ella Lloyd from Pontypridd, now in the top 10 after the pit lane start. Ella Lloyd also was a wild card last year at the Singapore Grand Prix. I thought she was absolutely fantastic there. She has showed her class yet again this weekend. As I said, made a mistake in qualifying, got even worse for her with the pit lane start, but great recovery for her in both races. Once she gets that qualifying down, she will be a contender towards the front of the grid for sure. She's now inside the top 10 in this race. Nina Gademan, though, who was leading this race quite comfortably, all of a sudden is out. A mechanical issue for her ends her race. Absolutely devastating for her because she was doing so well up until that point. Larson hits Filbermeyer and allows Pan to gain 2 places. This is near the end of this, is basically at the last lap. Then as we go towards the line, the final corner, it is Pawelski versus Chambers for the win on the final lap going into turn 14. Pawelski is able to stay on top of there. Houseman taps Filbermeyer on the final lap, which causes her to spin. Filbermeyer, who I thought did a fantastic job all race, ruined at the end due to Tina Houseman. But as we cross the line, Pawelski wins the first race of the year. Chloe Chambers, a fantastic P2. Maya Vug in 3rd. Larson 4th. Dorian Pan in 5th. Ferreira in 6th. Ella Lloyd, a wonderful 7th place. Then the toughest name of them all, Anna, Anganostidas in 8th. To take the final point from race 1. Across the race 2 now, this grid made up of who was the fastest on the Friday. Maya Vug on pole, Dorian Pan alongside her. Rolling start for this one. I think it was whatever feeder race there was before this. There was some kind of oil slick here. There was an issue with a car. They had put sand over it to try and clean it up, but now the sand is an additional issue. This even continued to the start of the F1 race. They were talking on the grid about this, the oil that had been there. So they have rolling starts for this race, a couple of laps behind the safety car to try and clean it up a little bit before the rolling start. Maya Vug goes quite early, and Dorian Pan all over the back of her, and Dorian Pan takes the lead immediately. Further back, Nina Gademan, who was doing well again, is tapped by Tina Houseman, causes a spin for both of them. Gademan obviously furious by this, but we keep on going, and there's an even bigger crash. Nobles is out, Havada is out, and Chiconte is also out. What we see here is that Chong hit Chiconte, who collected Havada and Nobles from there. Safety car out for the first time in this race on lap 5. We get penalties for both Houseman and Chong. The second 10-second penalty for Chong of the race. Both of them penalties for causing a collision. On the restart, Nina Gademan, furious, double overtake into turn 1 to get up to P13. It has a great recovery from here. Chloe Chambers, late move on Larson. Can't make it stick quite yet, but at this point, lap 8 of 11, Leah Block is up until the top 10. Nina Gademan continues to try and get this recovery drive on. She's up now into P11. Further forward, though, we have a lovely battle between Larson and Chloe Chambers. Chambers passes Larson for P3, but goes too deep into turn 14. Larson takes the place back, but then Chloe Chambers is able to get it back again. Wonderful little battle between these two. Then Further Myers back again. She passes Pawelski for P5, but then loses the place, gets it back again. Beautiful, beautiful duels towards the end of this race. But as we cross the line, Dorian Pan takes the win of race 2 and the championship lead. She's definitely the favourite going into this. I said in my preview, my predictions video, that she is my prediction for F1 Academy champion, and she's taken the lead here, taken the championship lead as well. Maya Vug, as expected, in P2. Chloe Chambers is my star of F1 Academy this week. She was fantastic. You know, the star of F1 Academy is the same as in my F2 videos and my F3 videos. It's not the person who did the best, but the one who provided the most entertainment. And in both races, proper great overtakes and battles throughout. Chloe Chambers is fantastic. Last in the P4, Fermmeyer 5th. Pawelski in 6th. Ella Lloyd, another good recovery for her in 7th. Ferreira in 8th. Leah Block gets points in 9th. Nina Gademan, despite the crash on lap 1, comes back to get 1 point from this race. Should have won the first race as well. Also fantastic P10 for her. Looking at what we have in F1 Academy this year, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. not just because of that top 8 reversal that we talked about before, but we have a lot better grid, I think, this year than last year. Now, of course, we haven't got Abby Pulling, who was the star of last year, because once you've won the championship, you're out of the competition. I think she's in GB3 this year. But it feels like, and I spoke about this in my China Grand Prix preview video, the gap in talent in F1 Academy, I think, is bigger than any other series. But I feel like it's closer this year than it was last year. We have a lot of drivers who can make these daring overtakes, have like the bravery to do it, and have a lot of talent in there. You know, Dorian Pan, Maya Vug seem to still be the class of the field, but, you know, everyone else can be in that conversation. And who knows, because, you know, we saw this time last year, in the first race for F1 Academy, Dorian Pan came out and stormed it. And we were all like, well, it's over. It's done. She's won it. Then from the second race onwards, Abby Pulling turned up as this just world destroyer and took the championship with ease. So who knows what will happen next time we come around to F1 Academy? Who's going to make those steps up? Because for so many of these people, they're at early points of their racing careers. So the gains they can make in their ability and their talent are so much bigger than you would see like in the world of F1, where everyone's so finely tuned. Everyone will be making those advancements. Everyone will be getting better all the time. So it's going to be a ever-evolving grid, I think, throughout F1 Academy this year as we go forward, and it's going to be really exciting to watch. And sometime I might actually learn how to properly pronounce their names. There you go. That is F1 Academy for this week. All the coverage of F1 is already on the channel, including that triple disqualification breaking news. We'll have the driver ratings out tomorrow. Stop and Go F1 Retro Review 1981 is on Tuesday. There is no F1 race next weekend, but there will be a video here on Friday. And if there's any breaking news, we'll be here on Saturday to talk all about it. Then, Japanese Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. So loads of stuff to come on the channel. I will see you all then. Until next time, have a good one. See you later. Goodbye.